Hello everyone, today we've got a review of Idol Manager. This review is from Catered Pajamas. Please go follow her on Twitter. These are her words, not mine. Let's see what she thinks. Idols. You know of them, you may or may not love them, but regardless of your own personal feelings, they are a big piece of Japanese culture and play a big role in the music industry. So much so that this game, Idol Manager, was created to showcase both the idols themselves as well as give you the chance to run an idol business. Originally a Kickstarter funded game back in 2018, developed by Glitch Pitch and published by Playism, Idol Manager was released in July of last year for PC and more recently in August 2022 for Switch and PlayStation. This one is described as a management sim, visual novel and dark comedy, which is a bit of an odd combination, but it is a good description for what this game has to offer. The game is centered around an upcoming idol manager, you, that has their company funded and picked up off the ground by a business mogul, Mr. Fujimoto. You're then dropped into a lot of wordy tutorials to get you started and are pretty much thrown out to the wolves after that. Your first task is to pick out your idols and start your group. With every search of idols to hire, you are put into what is essentially a gacha game of idol polls that may or may not end up well depending on how lucky you are. Each idol comes equipped with different strengths and weaknesses, a different rarity, as well as a variety of traits that range from useful to confusing as to how they would ever be beneficial in any way. After you've selected your first set of idols, you can hire a business manager to assist you with day-to-day tasks, a choreographer to help train the girls and develop dance routines to go with your songs, a producer to help make those songs and train your idols to sing, among a couple of other various positions. Your base of operations is an office building owned by Mr. Fujimoto, and you are given free reign to add different rooms with various purposes that will help assist you in training, making money, and raising the fame of your idols. Eventually, you will have to pay rent on these rooms depending on how far you expand, but in the beginning, the first little bit is free thanks to Mr. Fujimoto's generosity. While all of this is just scratching the surface of what you do in the game, the biggest part comes in the form of producing songs and taking care of your idols. You can pick the genre, production, and choreographical style that you'd like your single to reflect, as well as choose what you want the name of it to be. I found the random name generator to be quite entertaining though, as it was just a random words and phrases smashed together to form what would sometimes sound like both an incredibly realistic and ridiculous title. You're also given the choice of how you would like to market and release the songs, whether it be through a viral campaign or simply just a digital release. Basically, anything other than a digital release is subject to a roulette wheel of how well the release will go. And I seem to have worse luck than good, but I don't know all the background numbers that go into it. I did discover, however, that reloading a save if you get a bad result won't help you, because it seems that the result is determined as soon as you create the song rather than when you release it. Throughout the game, you're given tasks to complete that will progress the story and unlock new story scenes and CGs. Eventually, you're given a choice between several different paths that can lead to different endings. In total, the game contains 9 different endings that you can reach while playing, meaning there's a lot to see in the game and a lot of content to discover. In addition to all the singing, dancing and practicing your idols do, you also must make sure that you keep them well taken care of, or they will deteriorate in both mental and physical stamina, and eventually they will drop out of working and go on a hiatus for several months, making one of your idols unusable for what felt like a long period of time. Occasionally, you'll also receive random events that will occur that will cause scandal for both you and your idols. Sometimes these items will also cause a loss of stamina for your idols, so it's never easy to relax when playing. There's also the ability to have a little romance with your idols as well, although this does not come easy and is very difficult to achieve. I had little to almost no success in my first attempts, but eventually got one romance going, although it didn't last long. The girls' relationships in the background of your running the group change by themselves. They form cliques, date each other, among other things, making this, the romance part of the game, in my opinion, more difficult than not going bankrupt. Speaking of going bankrupt, as with all business management sims, your biggest and hardest task is keep your business financially viable. Going bankrupt is constantly looming when you first start playing, and you'll see your finances dwindle when you struggle to figure out what the right monetary balance is and what you should focus on your spending. You can take some interest-free loans when you first go in the hole, generously provided by your benefactor, but you must complete a random task of his choosing before he'll let you borrow any more money. Once you figure out the best way to release singles and unlock the secrets of profitability, this difficulty spike slowly becomes surmountable. Lastly, I was very pleased with the art in Idle Manager. It makes the game gorgeous to look at, even when you're only completing small tasks, just going about the routine of updating stats here and there and managing your team. The CGs are simple in just the right way, and I love revisiting them in the gallery after the game was done. While it's a cool game to have ported over to consoles, it can't be denied that it comes with its issues. There seems to be some slowdown while fast forwarding on the Switch, at least in handheld mode, especially late game when you have a lot of flaws and a lot of animations going on at the same time. Additionally, unfortunately, Idle Manager seems to suffer from the same issues that plague a lot of games I played recently that were ported from PC to Switch, which is that the controls are a slog. And with the huge miss in lack of touchscreen support, it made navigating the menu and controls at the start of the game incredibly confusing, even with all the tutorials it throws at you. It took me about halfway through the game till I really felt comfortable with them, and was easily able to navigate through the menus without getting tripped up. Overall, while Idle Manager does contain a large learning curve combined with a tall difficulty spike during normal gameplay, it still holds up as both a competent and fun example of the genre. The characters are varied, the gameplay loop is fun, and there's a lot of intricate detail that goes into planning the longevity of your idol group. I never felt bored or like I was waiting for the game to continue. I always felt like I had something to do while simultaneously having a larger goal to work towards. That combined with its fun way of storytelling, different routes you can explore, and overall character charm make this a fun visual novel management sim gameplay combo that I can easily recommend to anyone who loves a good challenge with a splash of vapid and hilarious dialogue. A 7 out of 10. Thank you to Katie Pajamas for writing this review for us. Please go check her out on Twitter. If you want to purchase this physically on the Nintendo Switch or on the PlayStation 4, then also consider using the links in the description. Yes, this is available physically and you can purchase it and support VN Paradise at the same time. Have a good day.